During my 30-day zero waste challenge, I had to swap out a bunch of waste-producing products and things with some sustainable alternatives, and I thought I'd just share the easiest ones with you since I think they're especially good for beginners who just want to make more conscious decisions in their life. You don't have to swap out all the things that I'm about to mention, and there might be different alternatives out there for the things I'm mentioning. I just think even the smallest change can have such a huge impact on our planet. I just want you to keep that in mind, and let's start with the first one. The first swap are reusable shopping bags. All the swaps are easy in my opinion, but this one is probably the easiest. Instead of buying a plastic bag at the supermarket, just bring your own reusable one. There are so many great options out there for reusable bags. The ones I'm using are from Zero by Olive in the black and natural color. The next swap are reusable bags and jars. I love to use those cotton ones where I can just store my fruits and vegetables in, or like bakery goodies. And for grains and legumes, I tend to use a jar. And you don't need to buy a fancy one, you can just use an old pickle jar. The same goes for the cotton bags, you can just use an old pillowcase instead. The next swap are reusable straws. I'm speaking from experience when I say sometimes it's hard to avoid plastic straws, but if you keep in mind to bring them with you, there's such a great alternatives to plastic or even paper straws. There are great options out there. My favorite ones are the stainless steel ones from Zero by Olive. I personally love the bending ones and also the thicker ones for smoothies. They come in a small bag with a cleaning brush. Speaking of drinking, the next swap are reusable water bottles. It's just so important to me to avoid buying plastic water bottles or just plastic in general, and that's why I try to always bring a reusable one with me. The same goes for coffee to go. I always try to bring my own coffee mug with me that I can just use whenever I want a coffee to go. The one I'm using is from Keep Cup, but there are so many different brands out there, and you can always just bring a cup that you use at home with you. Speaking of coffee, the next swap is a French press coffee machine. I used to own an espresso machine, and those coffee cups produce a lot of waste. That's why I made the switch to this sustainable alternative. It's honestly so easy to use and basically for free compared to other coffee machines. The next swap is Tupperware and reusable wax wraps. So instead of using aluminium foil to wrap your food, you can just use a reusable wax wrap or just put it in Tupperware. You can use them as lunchbox, you can use them for takeouts and pretty much everything where storing food is involved. The next swap is reusable cutlery. When you are on the go and you are that kind of person that gets their lunch takeouts with plastic cutlery, just try to bring your own reusable ones with you. The next swap are reusable makeup removing wipes. I use these cotton pads to remove my makeup. I can just wash them, they come out clean, and I can use them again. They're just so much better for the environment than the ones that you have to throw away after using them. The next swap is a menstrual cup. This is a zero waste swap for women, and I have to say I know it was really hard in the beginning to get the hang out of them, but once you know how to use them, honestly you don't want to go back. They just make your life easier and they're so much better for the environment. The next swap is a shampoo bar. So instead of using the shampoo in plastic bottles, you can just get a shampoo bar. The one I got is from Lush. And yes, it foams because that was a very crucial point to me. But you can always just make your own shampoo, and the same goes for conditioner. Sometimes I just do a apple cider vinegar rinse or use a rosemary infused water. The same applies for body wash and shower gels. You can just make them yourself or just use a regular soap, and I sometimes just use my shampoo bar. The same goes for face and body cream. You can always just make them yourself. I will soon upload a video with some easy recipes. And sometimes I just use castor oil or coconut oil or a piece of shea butter instead of buying a face or body cream in a plastic packaging. The next swap is a DIY deodorant. So I make my own deodorant. It's such an easy recipe. All you need is coconut oil, baking soda, and just use some kind of essential oils that you like. I'll make sure to share a recipe with you soon, but if you don't like to make them yourself, there are great alternatives out there. that come in a reusable packaging or a recyclable one instead of buying one that is packaged in plastic. The next swap is toothpaste. Yes, you can make toothpaste yourself as well. It's such an easy recipe. All you need is coconut oil, baking soda. I like to add bentonite clay and like peppermint essential oil. But if you don't like to make toothpaste yourself, you can just try sustainable alternatives like toothpaste tabs. I know they are available at Lush, for example, and I also know that Zero by Olive made their own sustainable toothpaste. Speaking of brushing your teeth, the next swap are bamboo toothbrushes. These are more of a low-waste alternative instead of a zero-waste one, but they are so much better for the environment than the ones that come in plastic. The ones I'm using are from Zero by Olive, and I just love their bristles. They're not too soft and not too hard. They come in a pack of 4 and they are definitely affordable. The next swap are bamboo Q-tips. So instead of buying Q-tips with the plastic stick in the middle, you just go for the ones that have a bamboo one instead. The next swap is a stainless steel safety razor. This might not be the easiest swap for everyone. I have to say, in the beginning I was really afraid to use it, but now that I know how to use it, I'm just so happy I made that switch. And I haven't cut myself once. As long as you don't put pressure on it, you should be fine. And just keep in mind, both sides are sharp. I still have my epilator, so I just alternate between these two. The next swap are cleaning products. And yes, you can make them yourself. All you need is a spray bottle, vinegar, water, and some kind of essential oils that you like. I personally like to add lavender essential oil or a lemon one. And the last swap is laundry washing powder or soap. And yes, you can make that yourself as well, or give soap nuts a try. That's definitely what I'm gonna do next as soon as I finish up the one that I still have. The one I'm using is not a zero waste but a low waste alternative. I'm just gonna use this washing powder up. It comes in a recyclable paper packaging, but as soon as this is empty, I'm gonna give soap nuts a try. That's it for my zero waste swaps or my sustainable alternatives. You don't have to swap them all out at once, and don't put pressure on yourself when it comes to sustainability. Just keep in mind, start today, start with something, and no matter how small the change, you can make the world a little better.